Poppin' Who Dat Nation, it's your boy, producer Trace. Welcome back into another edition of Saints Now. We have some breaking news. So, from Nick Underhill, the Saints have waived Devine Ozigbo and KJ Costello. So, we're going to be breaking down this news, kind of giving my initial reactions, kind of bouncing some stats and some analysis off of you guys. But I wanted to, on my day off, come and give my quick analysis. So this is why you got to subscribe. You got to come and hit the sub button because we're trying to hit 9K subs by week 1. No Saints channel is getting news, rumors, updates, mailbags, interactive content, all of that stuff out as quickly and as efficiently as possible like we are. I mean, on our days off on the weekend, we're still making videos and making content for you guys. Come on, like you got to sub for that at least. Come on, guys, like let's have some fun. Let's enjoy the football season together, and come join the squad of the Who Dat Nation that we're building at Saints Now here by Chat Sports. So to kind of break down this initial, roster move, I'm going to kind of first dive into the Devine Ozigbo news. So Ozigbo versus Green Bay did go 7 carries for 40 yards, 2 receptions for 7 yards. Kind of an interesting anecdote from John Sigler. Devine Ozigbo actually played the second most special team snaps on the team through 2 preseason games after the Saints waived Malcolm Brown last week. So that's kind of an interesting note. Overall, against Green Bay, I thought that Ozigbo started kind of slow. I mentioned this in my post-game show the other night that I also did from home, working from home. Another reason to subscribe. Come on now. But I think that Devine Ozigbo started off a little slow. I think that he had a better day later in his reps. He did start getting a little bit more productive with his reps and with his carries. But I think that Tony Jones Jr. really stood out, and his stock is going so up, guys. I mean, between him and Dwayne Washington, that running back 3-4 is I think that's kind of set outside of maybe Abram Smith. And it is interesting to note that Abram Smith, thus far, as I'm recording, has survived the first couple cuts of the day, I would say. And I'm just checking Twitter, making sure, and nothing. He's still there. So Abram Smith, shout out you. You're clearly shown enough to stick around and earn more reps at practice as well as in games. So I want to kind of get your gauge on this. What is your one-word reaction to the Saints waiving Devine Ozigbo? My one word I would probably say is not shocked. I'm going to cheat and say 2 words. I think that Abram Smith has a little bit more upside. Nothing against Devine Ozigbo. He's a very talented football player, and I wish him nothing but the best. But at the end of the day, it's football, guys. It's a business, and we want to win a Super Bowl. As the Who Dat Nation, as a Saints fan, I want to see my team go on and win the big dance. And sometimes you gotta make some cuts, and you gotta make some tough decisions in order to get there. But kind of just to get a little bit more into this Tony Jones Jr. stuff. So his stock is significantly up. He was grinding on special teams, guys. And this is something that you didn't necessarily see with Devine Ozigbo. I really liked how Tony Jones Jr. was just thrown into the mix. Go and play whatever position and play it well. And I really, really think that is why Ozigbo, not the only reason he didn't get cut, but I think that Ozigbo didn't show that as much, or didn't show the versatility and the being able to be thrown in at any different position. So I think that is a big reason why Tony Jones Jr. had that upper hand on him. And I think that with Alvin Kamara likely not missing any games, Mark Ingram as the RB2, and then you got Dwayne Washington, who we don't know if he got a little dinged up at practice this past week. Kind of a note to take away. He did get dinged up. He did not play in the preseason game versus the Packers the other night. But to be honest, from what I've seen, it's kind of on the fence of whether or not it's actually because he's proven everything he needs to do. He's good to go. Because if you remember, he had that 9-yard touchdown against the Texans in preseason week 1. So he's clearly a talented back. Like that's not what we're worried about here. But what we are, trying to figure out is like, why did he miss? We haven't really heard too much from what I've seen. I could be missing some stuff. So if you guys want to stay up to date on a lot of this, give me a follow at Trace Gerard. 48 on Twitter and Instagram. I'll go ahead and put my links in the comments and in the description of this video. I give a lot of my reactions, a lot of analysis. I was live tweeting the game, tweeting highlights, kind of giving some fun opinions, some funny hot takes here and there. But guys, yeah, just give me a follow if you guys want to stay up to date on all this. I'll give if I was wrong on this, I'll be on Twitter and be correcting myself and stuff. So I just want to make sure as I'm getting reports in, I'm giving you guys accurate information. So also just want to kind of shift over to KJ Costello. So he was signed a couple weeks ago or a little bit ago to be the quarterback 4, if you will. Almost you could make an argument for QB5 if you throw Taysom Hill in the mix, which let's not. But the Saints just waived him today per Nick Underhill, and Nick Underhill had it first. He said per sources, Saints have waived KJ Costello. My first thoughts, 1, Ian Book is not on the hot seat anymore. He is quite literally sitting on the sun. He has no chance but to ball out and do well against the Chargers in the next preseason game. Otherwise, he's gone. I'm sorry. He's got to go. Like it's nothing personal, but I think if you look at it, I would rather have Ian Book's roster spot go to someone like a Lucas Kroll or an Abram Smith, or maybe an extra linebacker, an extra defensive lineman, or somewhere. I don't think there's value in carrying 3 quarterbacks and then Taysom Hill as a bear with me, a potential emergency quarterback. We're not gonna throw him in every chance we get, or if something happens. But come on, he's not a quarterback. Let's just stop this argument. But it's interesting to note, though, he was signed very shortly after Jameis Winston had his little ankle tweak at training camp. So could this mean Jameis Winston is going to be back? Could this mean that he's ready to go? And, this is kind of their all right, this was kind of a safety net in case we needed it. Maybe he's good. Maybe he's ready to play against the Chargers in preseason. Maybe we'll see him suit out and get a dress rehearsal. If not, the reports have been saying he'll be ready to go for week 1. He'll be ready to play, and he's going to be fine. Videos at training camp show him running around, practicing with the team, doing individual drills and stuff. So I'm not worried about it, guys. I think Jameis Winston's going to be okay. But it is interesting to note that with KJ Costello now off the roster, your QB room is now down to Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, and Ian Book. 3 quarterbacks isn't always the worst thing in the world, but I think you got to keep in mind that maybe Ian Book just isn't that good. And, I don't know about you guys, but as a lifelong Saints fan, I would rather win games, and I'd rather have roster spots for players that are going to contribute and help us and help the team win and make the postseason and get us to on a deep playoff run. That's just me, though. So, I could be wrong and I could be alone in my opinions on that. But I do want to ask you this, guys. After KJ Costello got waived, do you think Ian Book will make the roster? Type Y for yes, type N for no, and let me know down in the comment section. And before we head on out of here, I want to give a quick Real Ones roll call. If you made it to the end of the video, get down in the comment section, type Real One, sound off, and I'll make you a promise. The first 10 people that comment Real One, I got you on a shout out. I got you on a shout out next video. We'll be back in the studio on Monday. We'll be back ready to roll. It's going to be a good time. Just get me those Real One shout outs. Like the video, turn on notifications, share it with your friends and family. Make sure everybody who's a Saints fan is on this channel because, hey, nobody's doing it like we do. We're some real ones out here. We're trying to have some fun, and we're trying to bring you guys the best content. And the only way to do that is if you guys hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and turn on the notifications. All right, guys, and if you guys enjoyed today's video, you can hit the sub button right here. You can click on this video right here. It's one of our most recent ones, or you can click on this one as well. They're both pretty great. Why not check them both out? Drop a like, leave a comment, and let us know which video you're going to check out next.